Hello, Dr. Blankenship with you one final time in this class. In our all too brief time together, I've tried to introduce you to the concept of criminal justice policy making and some of the issues surrounding a few select policies that are featured in our criminal justice system today. By no means have we touched on every possible policy that we could discuss in the context of does it work, does it not work, why, or as in one I would really love to get into, say for example drug prohibition, does it make matters worse? But again, we've just touched on these subjects. There's certainly much more to learn. The major points of this class are an examination of why policies work and don't work. And we've gone through some examples. We could have looked at a policy that does work, are hotspots for policing. That is, it's sort of a targeted patrol. Police go into a certain area and stop everybody. For example, police in several major metropolitan areas have really been successful in targeting illegal weapons possession using the hotspots kind of procedure. But we've learned that why policies fail is that sometimes they're ill-conceived, they're never funded. Other times we see some policies that are well-intended but are just misguided. But I would think that the one major area that we've not explored fully is that a lot of policies are based on a false premise. And that is that we think of crime as a problem. And all the different kinds of crimes like a DUI or sex offense or whatever, these are problems. And in our culture, we look at problems to be solved. But I think that's the wrong approach. Instead, we should look at crime as a condition. It's normal in every society. What's the difference between a problem and a condition? Well, let's use a medical metaphor to distinguish between that. If I have an acute pain and fever and some other symptoms in my right lower abdomen, they're probably going to look at my appendix, and pending several tests, may have to have it removed. Problem solved. But what if I have a condition like hypertension or diabetes? You can't solve those problems. They're with you the rest of your life. Instead, what you do is manage those conditions. And of course, the first step is you don't make the condition worse. If you have hypertension, you don't load up on French fries with a lot of salt. You exercise, you monitor your weight, and you take medication to help manage the system, or rather manage the condition, but you don't do things that are going to make it worse. And I think all too frequently, because of the wrong approach in our criminal justice policies, we look at these as problems that can be solved rather than conditions that need to be managed. Well, I'll leave it with you to ponder that additional thought and to always be suspicious as good social scientists when you look at a policy and claims of does it work. It needs to be evaluated and by people who do not have a stake in the outcome one way or the other. I wish you well. I hope that you've learned something from this class, and I hope to see you again in a future class. Best of luck.